Hi boys and girls, today for language arts we're going to be reading The Mighty Colorado. Remember that our big question this month is, where does water come from? And we're talking about cause and effect with our comprehension strategy. So what causes something to happen? When I read the title, The Mighty Colorado, and I think of our big question, where does water come from? Oh, look at all that water. Okay, there must be a lot of water like that in the Colorado. Okay, it tells us that we're going to connect across text. So we're reading about someone right now who cares about important water source in the United States. Okay, and the genre, remember the genre is the type of story or text you're reading. And this is a profile, so it briefly describes a person. It tells what the person does and cares about. Okay. It says down at the bottom in the white on the left there, 30 million. It's hard to picture 30 million, but it's very many. Okay, and crops, I think you boys and girls know, crops are food. Okay. Make sure you have your handy dandy tool out. Remember, we always track when we're reading. Okay, and you follow with me. Where do you get your water? You may get it from the Colorado River. The Colorado provides water to 30 million people in the United States. It gives them water to drink. It helps them stay clean. It even helps them grow crops. Okay, now you can see at the bottom here we have some questions, okay, before you go on. And the first one says, what is one question you have about the Colorado River and how will you find the answer? Okay, so think about any questions you have, okay? Gosh, where does this water come from? Why is it so mighty? Okay, how can it provide water for 30 million people? Okay, now I want you to think, number 2 says the details, name things people do with the water provided. Well, they probably shower. Okay, they're probably able to water their lawn. Can you think of some others, boys and girls? I'm sure you're all coming up with great answers. Okay, I'm going to turn the page here. So here is the gentleman we're reading about. If you look at the picture of him, remember we have a caption that goes below it. The caption tells what's in the picture. And it says, John Waterman explores the Colorado River. Well, maybe that's why he has his last name Waterman, because he was going to care so much about the water. Okay, and then the picture with him in his kayak down there. And the red arrow's pointing up and it says, sometimes Mr. Waterman rides down the river. Looks pretty fun. A little bit scary for Mrs. Jensen. Okay, and in the bottom it says other words. Had dried up. Okay, that means they were without water. We've talked a little bit about if we were in a drought. Okay, oh, and look what that next word is, droughts. Months or years without water. Okay, go ahead and get your handy dandy tool. Okay, and let's start. Oh, Mrs. Jensen has a hard time filming and doing this. Okay, starting with John. Okay. John Waterman knows a lot about the Colorado River. He is a National Geographic explorer. He rode down the entire river. Sometimes, though, he had to stop and walk. Why? Parts of the river had dried up. One reason was droughts and warmer temperatures on Earth. Another reason was that people had used too much of the river's water. Wow. So here he is. It looks like there's a ton of water there, and then there's at times he had to get out and walk. Seems kind of crazy. Okay, let's go over here to this other picture, or this other page. Okay, and if you see the picture down below where the caption with the little red triangle, it says, without rain, rivers dry up. Wow, so that's what it looks like without water. Okay, and you can see the map on that picture. It shows you where the Colorado River runs. Okay, so not all of it is in Colorado. Okay, and it says at the top of the picture, and the triangle or arrow is pointing at the map, it says the Colorado River is 1,450 miles long. Oh, boys and girls, that is a long river. Okay, remember we're talking about cause and effect. So at the bottom there it says, before you move on, why did parts of the river dry up? So think about that before we read. Okay, and number 2, use text features. Look at the map. Name 3 states that the Colorado River runs through. And we've kind of looked, but I want you to pay attention, and we'll do that in a minute. And then over on the bottom on the left, it says, in other words. The word otherwise means if we don't. Okay? Okay, get your handy dandy tool out. We're starting with Mr. Waterman. Okay? Mr. Waterman says the Colorado River needs our help. We must change the way we use water. Otherwise, or also otherwise means if we don't, there will be less water every year. We need the river so we can survive. The river needs us too. Okay? So, cause and effect. Why do parts of the river dry up? Okay, I want you to think to yourself for a minute. Okay, I wonder what some of the answers are. I wonder if some of them are we waste water. Okay, have you ever heard your mom and dad say, don't leave the water running? Okay, or through some of our other texts and reading, we have found ways to conserve. Okay, we can, when it rains, we can use that water to water our flowers with. When you're playing in the sprinklers, play on the grass, so it's watering the grass too. Okay, lots of different ways that we can conserve water. Okay, we don't want to be in a drought. We don't want our rivers to dry up. I believe this is the last page. Yes, it is. Okay, so remembering. Okay, our big question, where does water come from? Well, we know that it comes from the Colorado River and lots of many other bodies of water. And remember, it did ask us what 3 states this river went through. Well, we have Colorado. Oh, look, part of it's in Utah and Arizona. It looks like right on the border there with Nevada and California too. Okay. Our big question, where does water come from? Okay, cause and effect. Okay, you can see the effect in this picture of a dried up river. Okay, the cause was we ran out of water. Okay, we want to be careful with our water, use it wisely. Hey boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed reading this story, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.